What is up, everybody? My name is Lando. I'm joined here by Jayden Seegert, the man, the myth, back for episode 2 of the Ball and Blitz pod. Welcome back. For everybody that watched the first episode, I hope you enjoyed it. Today we're going to be talking about pretenders and contenders in the NFL, man. I feel like this is a year where parity is at an all-time high. At least personally, I've probably been watching football for the better part of a decade now. I'm a young guy, so I haven't seen everything, but this to me feels like a year where there is more parity and more confusion throughout the league with just how everybody views one another than any other year I can remember. Like last year, it felt like, all right, it's Philly, and then it's probably Kansas City, and then I don't really know. Like, you can mix in the other teams after that, but those feel like the top two teams, and they met in the Super Bowl. And then the year before that, it was San Francisco and Kansas City. And then I guess last year you could have said Detroit. Anyway, anyways, the whole ordeal here is that there's a bunch of teams. We don't really know what to make of them, so we're going to kind of talk about it today. What each other thinks about them. We discussed it pre-pod. Where do you want to start, man? Do you want to start with contenders, pretenders? What do you want to do here?
Let's piss off some fans. Might as well start with the pretenders here.
Let's fucking do it, man. All right. Do we want to start out with the one that I think is going to get the most, like, the most hot takey one? Do we want to start it out that way, or do we want to go kind of neutral and work our way to it?
I think we should ease it in. Start with like the Jaguars or someone like that.
I'm cool with that. Let's start with the Jaguars. All right. My general consensus opinion on them is I do think they're going to win the AFC South. I think that's going to happen, and I think I fall on that because the Colts are falling apart. And I'm just going to nip it in the bud right now. I think the Colts are pretenders, and it's not because I think they're a bad team. It's because they're hurt, and teams have kind of found a way to stop Jonathan Taylor whilst also kind of keeping Daniel Jones in check and not letting him do what he's succeeded doing throughout this season. With Jacksonville, I don't really know how else to put it. They're just worse in almost every area than a lot of the other teams that I respect in the AFC. I don't think they have a superhero quarterback. I don't think their run game is crazy efficient, especially in the playoffs. I don't think it's going to be. I do like that they added Jacoby Myers, but I don't think that wide receiver core or that weapon core in general is good enough to win 3 games or 4 games, I guess. Let me know where you stand, man, because I just don't think they're as good as everybody else, top to bottom.
I there's a team. There's one or two teams every year that they just find ways to squeak by wins, and it's just super ugly. Like a few years back, it was the Steelers ended up starting 11-0,
Hmm.
and then they ended up like fading out and had a good record, and they sucked. They got bounced
Right.
in the playoffs right away. They just
Hmm.
were not good. Everyone who watched them could tell they were not that good of a team, and that's who I think the Jags are this year.
Yeah.
They find ways to win, which good on you.
Hmm.
But when I'm watching, they're just not. I
Yeah.
think pretty easily they are the worst team in the playoff picture right now. If like the season ended today,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, I think it
they're
would be
not a
them.
bad team.
I think it would be them or the Chargers, and it's like the same thing with the Chargers. They're just not healthy. I mean, if they were
Yeah,
healthy, they there's a chance they're the 1 seed in the AFC right now. I mean, who knows? That
yeah.
offensive line. I mean, you lost Slater preseason. You lost Alt. The rest of your interior, just like Zion Johnson, wasn't good. Mekhi Becton is one of the worst free agent signings of the entire offseason. Bradley Bozeman, like I don't even have to say anything. It's fucking Bradley Bozeman. That's your starting offensive line, and like all of the
Yeah.
good players are dead, and they're still in the playoffs. I mean, they're a
I
good
believe
team. I just don't expect it to stay that way. And with Jacksonville, it's like they're kind of just good everywhere. They're kind of just good everywhere, and that's why they are where they're at. And I wouldn't want to be the team that faces them in the playoffs, but like when you put them in like a tier list, they're definitely in the bottom tier of teams,
Mm,
especially in the AFC.
yeah, and I think it boils down to um, Trevor Lawrence just isn't that good.
I don't think he is
He's not
either.
that good. He hasn't really improved much since his second year. Obviously, he had the disaster rookie year because of
Hmm.
the disaster coaching staff. But then year two, he turned it around a little bit, and then everyone was expecting this massive jump, and it just has not happened. He's just, I, average, maybe
Yeah.
like maybe average amongst the 32 starting NFL quarterbacks. And
Yeah.
when you get into the playoffs, especially in a year with so much parity, it's like what's the things that can differentiate like great teams to good teams? And it's like I think quarterback play is going to be the biggest, most
Mhm.
important thing in the playoffs this year.
100%.
And I
Yeah.
think they have one of the worst quarterbacks of all the playoff teams. So I think
Mhm.
that's going to end up coming back to bite them.
And we'll talk about other teams in our contender lists, and a lot of the teams in the contender list, like I simply believe in them because they're gonna have the best quarterback in every game they play. And like
Yep.
at a certain level, like that's kind of all it takes, really. Like in the playoffs, if you get I mean, like would it shock me if Baltimore's in there and you get you know two really good Lamar games, before he eventually collapses and they lose? No, it wouldn't. Same with like Josh Allen, like. Would it shock me if Josh Allen just went on a heater and made it to the Super? Like, wouldn't shock me at all. But
Yeah.
talking about Jacksonville, like it would, I would be genuinely astonished if he was the main contributor to that offense being efficient and effective and winning football games in the playoffs, especially when these defensive coordinators, man, they can key in on you. Like, I mean, it's the playoffs, man. There is nothing in front of you. Nothing is promised. They will game plan against you in every conceivable way. And
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like Trevor Lawrence in that offense, and I really do like Liam Cohen. I think he's a really good coach. I mean, it's going to be his first year as a head coach in the playoffs. I'm not a huge fan of Trevor Lawrence in general. Not a huge fan of just that roster, regardless. That's
Oh
why I
yeah.
have him in Pretenders, man. Like, we don't have to spend too much more time on him. I don't think they're as good as any other team. I don't think they have a god at quarterback, and that's kind of all it takes at this point in the playoffs.
Yeah. If you don't have a great quarterback, you better have a fantastic roster.
hmm
And if you don't have either, then good luck.
There's a team we'll talk about later that doesn't have a fantastic quarterback but has a phenomenal roster around him that's a contender
We have in
because
the
of that.
contenders list. Yep.
So, moving on, we can move on to San Francisco. That'll be the next team we talk about. Jumping over to the NFC side, San Francisco's been a really good team this year. They've won a lot of games. They are, I think, comfortably out of the Pretenders, the team I'd pick as the best one, the one that could go the furthest if I had to choose. Um, what scares me, and I don't know if you differ from this, is it's the same thing we talked about with Jacksonville. It's Brock Purdy. It's the quarterback play. Do I trust him to go be efficient and win them games? No, not at all.
Um,
Not even like I would trust Mac Jones more. Like just being real. He's been healthy all year. He's executed that offense at a higher level than Brock Purdy has, and that's not to say Brock Purdy's had bad games. I've just personally liked what I've seen from Mac Jones a little bit more.
yeah. The Niners, they confuse me. I mean, they're winning games kind of like Jacksonville, but
hmm
I think a lot of it has to do with their schedule. They had a
Yeah.
what was it, a third place schedule or
Yeah,
something
I'm trying to
last
think
year.
about where they picked in the draft. Yeah, I think third place schedule, right?
Yeah, they had a soft schedule. Everyone
hmm
knew it coming in. It was from the like records from of the teams that they had to play. Their records from last year was the easiest schedule any NFL teams had since
hmm
I believe 2018, and it showed. I mean, they're every week it looks. I'm looking over there and they're playing a cupcake and they're barely squeaking by a win.
Yeah.
And so they're a lot like Jacksonville. They don't have a great quarterback, about average, league
hmm
average-ish, maybe a little bit worse. Um, I do believe in the Niners a little bit more because they do have a better roster. They have
hmm
more weapons. They have more talent around it, but the defense is banged up to all hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Feels like that's the
the
story with
run
them.
game. The run game is the biggest problem. That they can't get a run game going, and
hmm
obviously you have Brock Purdy, so it's like you kind of need to rely on Christian McCaffrey, but they haven't been able to get anything going. The defense hasn't been playing that well.
hmm
I mean, they're just a good team.
Yeah. They're a good team who can beat up on the bad teams because I think they're really well coached. I think the roster is generally, even through the injuries, is better than most other teams that they play.
Mm-hmm.
And while we shit on Brock Purdy, he's a fine regular season quarterback. I mean, he can get you stats. He can win you games. But once again, it's like I said, there are some quarterbacks that are just completely separate from the other quarterbacks that win playoff games. I mean, these are the guys that we're talking about that are limited athletically, don't have the arm talent, they don't have the vision, they can't hit certain windows, and it is a game of inches in the regular season. It's a game of fucking millimeters in the
Yep.
postseason, and I don't believe in Brock Purdy just that offense in general. Like CMC, I do think we're kind of seeing the decline of CMC's career, and I don't think that means he's a bad running back. I mean, he's still one of the top rushers in the league. The injury, I don't think derailed him per se, but you losing, basically an entire season. It's going to be tough to come back from, and maybe he rebounds a little bit better next year or towards the back half of the season, and maybe we can believe in them again. But I haven't seen it, and that's why we have him in Pretender, and I kind of
Yeah,
stand on that.
we're what 2-3 years removed from that San Francisco Super Bowl roster with Brock Purdy, and
Hmm.
that roster had Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk at wide receiver.
Hmm.
This one's got banged up 30-year-old Juwan Jennings
Yeah.
and Ricky Pearsall.
George
This
Kittle's still
one's
doing
got
his thing. George Kittle is still doing. He's
George,
still a
George
good
Kittle's
tight
still
end.
top three tight end in the NFL. He
Hmm.
still is, and I mean Christian McCaffrey's declined from what he was at that year. It's like Brock Purdy's worse, but also the weapons around him are much worse. The
Hmm.
offensive line is worse, and
Oh
the
yeah.
defense is worse. They're just a
Yeah.
shell of themselves from a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
they can make some noise. They have like the playmakers that could like turn a game on its head and make some noise, win a game or two, and
Yeah.
surprise everybody. But I see no world where they may win a NFC Championship game, let alone a Super Bowl.
Yeah. If they were fully healthy, I really do think we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah,
Like if they were fully healthy, they'd probably be the best or second best team in the NFC. I mean, shit, I'm looking at the teams right now, like Chicago 1 seed, LA 2 seed, Philly 3 seed, Tampa 4 seed, Seattle 5 seed, Green Bay 6, San Francisco 7. They still might be like the third best team in the NFC. I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want to see more. I kind of want to see like post Thanksgiving how teams perform
mm,
before I make like a definitive conclusion, because there's still so much that can happen.
yeah,
Within the remaining what is it, 5 or 6 games left in the season, 6 or 7, something like that. I just don't believe in Brock Purdy. I don't believe in the roster. I think they're too banged up, and like that's kind of just what it comes down to for me.
mm,
Um, we can move on to, and there's another kind of subsection of teams we have listed with a question mark. We're kind of shoving them into Pretender and Contender, and this next team is kind of a team I have a question mark with, and it's Chicago. Chicago is the 1 seed in the NFC right now. They're playing some damn good football. What holds it up for me is obviously first year head coach. I'm not, that scares me naturally. That scares me. And like we keep having this same conversation, like I just don't know if I can believe in Caleb Williams yet. Like he's so inconsistent on a down in down out basis. And it's not just like he's hitting explosive plays here, but he's missing explosive plays here. It's like he'll hit explosive plays here, and then he'll miss a 5-yard hitch, and then he'll miss a 8-yard slant. Then he'll miss. He'll misalign his pass protection and takes a sack. And it's this like little stuff that just adds up over time with that offense. That it's like, dude, they are so explosive, and they can score 45 on you in a playoff game. They can do it. But will they do it consistently? I don't know. And plus, the defense just isn't. Is that a defense that inspires me? Is that a defense that I think can win a Super Bowl? I just don't think so. Especially without Jalen Johnson, I don't think so.
yeah. They looked a lot better defensively in Jalen Johnson's first game back. I believe they got Kyler Gordon back as well. So with those two, they looked a lot better. I do need to see it against a pass offense that, for lack of a better term, is worth a fuck.
Yeah.
And so this
Yeah.
week is going to be a big one to see if their defense is actually as good as it looked last week.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And
they're down to their like 6th linebacker.
are they for real? We're not seeing Ruben Hippolyte play snaps.
I mean, they were down to I believe their fifth and sixth linebackers the week before last week, and they're
That's
slowly
badass.
starting to get guys back. And so their defense looking even somewhat average right now with all these guys hurt. It's pretty promising.
Hmm.
Maybe they can like turn up towards the end of the year. But yeah, like you said, I mean, Caleb Williams is he makes throws that there are maybe two other players in football that can make those throws at
Hmm.
all. But
Yeah.
then he will come up and he will miss layup after layup after layup. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's like you said, 5 yard hitch in a zone in like a Tampa 2
Hmm.
where sitting in front of the linebacker that dropped back 15 yards. There's nobody there, and he airmails it,
Hmm.
and or he spikes it in the dirt, or he's got like a 15-yard comeback route in man-to-man coverage, and he
Hmm.
throws it with anticipation, and it just goes 10 yards over the receiver's head.
Dude,
He
you can keep going. I got something to say after you wrap
Oh,
up.
it's constant. It happens like 5 to 10 times a game, which is why he's completing 58% of his passes.
Hmm.
It's hard to watch right now. It's one thing if you make the 1 to 2 to 3 explosive plays a game that you want your quarterback to make, that he does make, because he will make you 1 to 3 big plays in a game.
Hmm.
But if you're sacrificing like 7 to 8 to 9 like layups and potential drive killers, like
Hmm.
when that's the what you're giving up in return for those 2 to 3 plays, it's just not worth it.
Right. Did you say 9? Did you mention 9?
I might have said 9.
9?
No.
Shout out JJ McCarthy, man. Shout out JJ McCarthy.
Oh.
No, and I had here's something that Caleb Williams does that I see on film that like really irks me. So quarterbacks like sometimes when they have a really really good receiving option will tend to lock on to that receiving option and hang on just a little bit longer, even at like the detriment to taking a sack sometimes. Caleb Williams does that, except he doesn't lock onto a target, he locks onto an area of the field. So instead of like going, all right, so say you're reading it left to right, against whatever coverage. He won't read it like that. He reads the field in, because this is how kind of how their offense works. He reads it in sections. So he will be stuck on that deep over route that is never going to get open, while simultaneously there's a drag and a hitch that's wide open. He does that almost once or twice every single game. And it's not like a something that like a ton of other quarterbacks do it, but he does it to an extent that it just genuinely hurts his team. And I don't see another quarterback that just for like a lack of a better term just like straight up rejects the layups as much as he does. And like that's something where it's like I'm not worried about that. Like that will get better over time.
Yeah, long term for
But like
sure.
right now, that is something that bugs me, and like that will get back at you in the playoffs, man. That will like you're going on a 2 minute drive, right? It's 3rd and 6. If you hang on to that deep over and don't take the layup, dude, your season's done. It's over. And that's what scares me about Caleb Williams. And I was super encouraged by the just the explosion that the run game had with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai. These are like two polar opposite runners. So when those guys are working in tandem and the offensive line is getting to the second level, they're creating gaps in duo, they're creating gaps in zone. This team is so terrifying offensively,
Mm-hmm.
especially when Caleb is on. It is
Oh,
horrifying. Like I don't know what you do as a defensive coordinator, like
yeah.
straight up. They can beat you in any personnel package. They can beat you in any coverage look. And when Caleb aligns the protection correctly, which he's doing a much better job this year than he was last year, which is like obviously, they can beat you anywhere, any
Mm-hmm.
level of the field, any matchup they want, they can win 1-on-1. Luther Burden is getting better week by week. Just a really talented offense, but can they stay consistent? Is my
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Yep. No, I hear you. Caleb Williams, if he ever, which I 100% believe that he will figure it out. I think he will
Hmm.
be a great quarterback. I think he will be
Got
a
a
perennial top
literal
5 quarterback.
perfect head coach for him.
Yeah,
Could not have found a
I
better
think
one.
he will be awesome, but just for like the time being this year, I think I straight up think he will lose them a playoff game. I think
Yeah.
they will have everything in front of them that they need to win a playoff game. I think he will go and he will lose it because he will
Yeah.
make mistakes that young quarterbacks make,
Hmm.
and you kind of just have to bite the bullet and take that for this year.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I am tempted to put them in a contender list if the defense is actually as good
Yeah.
as it looked last week,
That
like with
we
all
just
the
gotta
pieces
see
coming back.
more. I just gotta
Hmm.
see more, like, because we can make a way better list, like a way more in-depth list, after week 18 rather
Yeah.
than post week 12 or whatever,
Hmm.
week 13. I mean,
Yeah. Once we start seeing what teams are going to have available to them in the playoffs.
right? Yeah, 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 100%, 100%. Uh, I really like Chicago's offense. It's so fun to watch, man. When it's clicking, it's so fun to watch, man.
Ben Johnson's a genius.
He is legitimately an offensive genius, and I think like defensively, I think it's more of a personnel thing. Like, so there's nothing that they do schematically that like really just gets on my nerves. I think they have a good understanding of who they have. They just like need more guys. Like Austin Booker's having has had some flashes throughout this season. They
Hmm.
need another guy at edge. I think they need another interior defensive lineman, like a true dominant force on the interior.
Yep.
Obviously, like you said with their linebackers, they're dead. I don't know even know what no I did not know it was as bad as you described it.
Yeah, I was watching that Eagles game, and the announcers were referencing the linebackers making the tackles, and every time they just kept saying new names. They just
Hmm.
kept bringing out new guys at linebacker and a bunch of
Yeah,
dudes that I had never heard of up until that point.
yeah, and like the rest of the defense, like secondary, you got if Jaquan Brisker stays healthy, good player. Kevin Byard, good player. Your corners are good when you're talking about Johnson, or you're talking about Tyreek Stevenson or Kyler Gort. Like they have a good defense, but I think in the positions where it's most important, interior defensive line, edge rusher, I wouldn't say linebacker is the most important, but I think having a good one is important in the playoffs. Like the
Yeah.
reason these San Francisco defenses were able to be carried so much in throughout the playoffs is because you have a Dre Greenlaw, you have a Fred Warner. They can quarterback that defense and they can change
Yep.
coverages, they can change things schematically. I don't know if Chicago has that. Matter of fact, I know Chicago doesn't have that, and that scares me.
Yeah, their secondary makes plays. I mean, they force a ton of turnovers. They
Hmm.
punch the ball out. They intercept passes. That's not something you want to typically rely on in the playoffs because teams that make the playoffs typically take care of the ball better
Hmm.
than the teams that you're playing in the regular season. But
Right.
it's obviously a good thing to be able to take the ball away. The problem is they're just going to give teams all day in the pocket
Yeah.
because I mean they're doing it right now. Let alone a playoff team's offensive line.
Hmm.
I mean, say they go and they're playing the Rams offensive line or the who else has a great offensive line in the
You could
uh,
you could
NFC?
say Tampa, Philly, like when they're all healthy, like
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they're all healthy, yeah,
with Lane Johnson back,
yeah. Like
Philly for
Philly's
sure.
kind of weird because obviously missing Lane Johnson's going to. I mean, you're going to get worse. But like fully healthy,
Mhm.
that's an awesome offensive
Yeah,
line.
it's like they're just not going to get pressure on teams,
Hmm.
and the
Consistently,
playoff
yeah,
teams are going to pick that apart. And
yeah,
I think they could easily win a playoff game, maybe even two. I just think at some point
yeah.
Caleb's gonna go out, have himself a stinker, make a couple mistakes, and then I just don't think the defense is gonna be able to hold up with that little amount of help they get on the off the edge.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's like if they get the one seed in the NFC, right? They get the bye, and then say they play like Seattle in round two. I could easily see them making the NFC Championship game, like
Mm-hmm.
easily. It's all matchup based, right? But like I could
Yep.
easily see that happening. Could they go score 35 in a playoff game and win? Like 100%, they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even like bat an eye if that happened. But
Nope.
like you said, and the Chicago's offensive line has been phenomenal this year too. Which the Joe Tooney trade was a revelation for them. Awesome player in pass protection, incredible double team run blocker. It has just changed that offensive line. It's changed that offense. The
Mm-hmm.
addition of Joe Tooney, and
Yeah.
we'll see how many years he has left. But playing at a really high level right now, and that's what's keeping this offense at the peaks of its powers, or what we think the peak of its powers can be.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. This team that I want to talk about next, the Indianapolis Colts. This is a weird one because this team fully healthy, and I feel like we've said this so many times, but like this team fully healthy, and really just talking about Daniel Jones in particular. because he was I don't know if you watched the Colts Texans game. He can't move. Like, he literally cannot move. This
No,
is someone who's, I wouldn't say he's known for his athleticism, but that is a part of his game that he uses regularly. He cannot move in the pocket with his fractured leg. He can't do it.
no.
And teams have done a really, really good job at disguising these loaded boxes now. It started in Kansas City. Kansas City did an excellent job of disguising coverages in the box, so like it would look like a weak front. All right, you have 5 in the box. All of a sudden, a safety drops in. All of a sudden, a cornerback is filling a gap, and it shuts down Jonathan Taylor in a way that it makes Daniel Jones have to beat you. And if he's playing hurt, there is no way for that team to win. Like, straight up. If you're stopping Jonathan Taylor and Daniel Jones can't hit his reads and he can't escape the pocket, dude, there's nothing that team can do offensively. These Alec Pierce 50-50 balls can only get you so far. So I'd have him at a pretender right now, but if you told me Jonathan Taylor were to be able to get going again and Daniel Jones was healthy, I mean, they could win the AFC, like 100%. But what I'm seeing right now, post DJ injury and post kind of the last couple weeks of Jonathan Taylor production decreasing slightly, I think they're a pretender, man. Like, I do.
Jones on one leg is not. You can't. There's some quarterbacks that they're banged up. It doesn't really matter because they're so good in the pocket and they're not using their legs as much. Like last year when Jordan Love damn near exploded. He played significantly worse, but also it's like it didn't derail the team because half the offense wasn't Jordan Love getting out of the pocket and moving around and making plays on the run.
Right.
Colts passing offense, I don't want to say it's predicated on it, but it's a very large portion of that is play action boots, getting out on the edge and outrunning guys and picking up yards with his legs, or just waiting for Josh Downs or Michael Pittman or Alex Pierce or Tyler Warren to shake someone last second and he picks up a big play on the run.
Yeah.
Like, that was a big part of their offense in the first couple of weeks, and it's just not there anymore.
Yeah, man, it's so... I really like the team. I think it's a really well-assembled roster. Like, I love the vision they had for their roster, offensively and defensively. I think the Sauce trade was terrible, but, like, I get why you did it. I just didn't like the amount of the capital you gave up, but I like the move in general. I love the way this roster is constructed. It would be a damn shame to see it go to waste in an AFC and really just an NFL picture, playoff picture in general, where it's just nobody kind of knows, like Kansas City's not even in the playoffs. You don't have that fucking soul-selling demon in the playoffs this year. So you don't got to worry about him. The AFC is wide open. And a team like this is the most talented team in the AFC when fully healthy. But they aren't fully healthy, and like they need Daniel Jones to play to make the playoffs. They're not even winning their division anymore. So they have to play him. They don't get the opportunity, the luxury to rest him. It's going to be tough, man. Like, there's a real world where they don't make the playoffs. Like, that can happen. Like, we're kind of staring down the barrel. They're 2-3 in their last 5, man.
Yeah, they're not looking good. If Daniel Jones is playing on one leg, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, there's not much you can do when Daniel Jones is that hurt. And he still throws a good ball. Like, if you watch the Texans game, he had some throws, man, to Alec Pierce down the field. He can still hit windows. It's just how often, how consistently can he hit these throws out of the gun, when it's a 7-man pressure, right? You can only block 6, right? You can't get anybody else in the backfield. How often can he hit these throws when he's under pressure? Like, if they make the playoffs, or do they just blitz the Colts 40% of the time, 45% of the time, and just live with the result?
There's not a single thing that would stop me from just sending a blitz on every obvious passing down.
Right? Yeah. Like, why not? Like. I don't want to keep going back to the Kansas City game, but that was one of my favorite game plans I've seen from any team all year because it was just so perfect. I mean, it was shut down the run on first down, pressure second and third down. It's so simple. It sounds like too good to be true, but that's what it is. That's how you stop that team.
Yeah, then that's what, especially with Daniel Jones' injury, their offense kind of got pretty predictable. It kind of got to the point where it's like, if it's 1st and 10, odds are it's a run.
Mm-hmm. It is a duo run. We're gonna try to double team out of a certain gap, and Jonathan Taylor is just gonna squeeze through the gap and try to make people miss in the second level. That's what their first down plan is.
Yeah, and pretty much every single time. And at some point, when it gets that predictable, it's just impossible to do anything, especially
Right.
with a hurt quarterback.
Right.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, pretenders for the Colts. To recap, our pretenders are the Jacksonville Jaguars, the San Francisco 49ers,
Yep.
the Chicago Bears, and the Indianapolis Colts. And I froze up there because I forgot to mention a team. Do we want to talk about Seattle real quick? Just like for like 5 minutes. Just want to talk about them as whatever you think they are. I mean, I think they're pretenders, and I'm gonna look at my notes. This is dead ass exactly what I wrote down in my notes. I wrote down Sam Darnold. Period.
Yeah.
That is my notes.
Yep.
I don't like, dude. He's just not going to be good in the playoffs. Like, I know he's doing awesome stuff in the regular season right now, but like, you're going to face some bracket coverages in the playoffs against JSN, and then what do you got after that? I also put down they don't have a wide receiver too, which is true. They just don't play Rashid Shaheed.
I don't even. So yeah, they don't have a 2. They kind of have like a 2 by committee with.
They got like a bunch of 4s, dude.
Yeah, Cup, Shaheed, and then the rookie. I'm like Torrey Horton.
Yeah. He's good. He might be the best one out of those 3.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is. I don't know if. I think Torrey Horton could be a 2. I think Shaheed is fine as a 3, and then Cup as a 4 is whatever. I just don't think Darnold cares to get past the first read. There's been plays where he's like scanning the field, going through his progressions, like he looks fine, like he looks good this year. I do believe Seattle's the only team in the NFL that has run the ball more than they've passed it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's true. I'm pretty sure I saw a graphic about that.
They are relying on a run game right now. That's not all that spectacular.
It's not that great.
It's a fine run game, but it's nothing crazy. Zach Charbonnet sucks.
I get like their ideology is like canine between the 20s, and you get in the red zone and it's going to be sharp. Like yeah, I get that.
Yeah, you can score points like that, and they're trying to slow the games down because they have a really good defense, which is smart. I would too.
Yeah.
If my defense was that good.
They are really well coached. They are one of the best coached teams in the playoffs. I would go as far to say as outside of the Rams, I think they're the best coached team in the playoffs. Maybe outside of the Patriots too.
Yeah.
So it's those 3.
Yeah, they're very well coached, and I think it's smart that they're. I mean, if I had Sam Darnold and I had a really good defense, I would run the shit out of the ball too, so that we could kill as much time as possible, keep the possessions low, and try to punch it in 2 or 3 times and let my defense win me a couple of games. I don't see it happening in the playoffs because, like you said, teams are going to make you throw it to your number 2 and your number 3, and teams are going to send more pressure at you, and we all know how Darnold is with pressure in his face, and the run game, like it'd be if their run game was better than it was, like if they had a run game like Chicago or a run game like Detroit or something like that, like a top 5, even 10 run game, I'd put them in contenders. Got to be like, yeah, sure, you go take away JSN, do whatever the hell you got to do to take away JSN. I'm going to give the ball to Kenneth Walker 25 times, and then once you finally have to respect the run, then that's when I can start layering it into JSN for 8 to 12 times a game. It's like, it's just not going to work because no one's really scared of the run game.
Mm-hmm. And I do. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
The reason they're winning games is the run game's fine, and Sam Darnold's fine when teams aren't just bracketing JSN, so he's getting him the ball a shit ton, and then their defense is taking it home. They're not winning games with their run game. They're not winning games with their passing game right now. They're winning games with their defense. Yeah. And I just don't see it happening all the way through the playoffs.
And here's the thing. I do think Jackson Smith-Njigba is on a small list of receivers that are what I would say are coverage proof. Meaning, I think there's certain things that you can throw at them schematically and it just won't matter. I think it's JSN. I think it's Jamar. I think it's Puka. I think it's Justin Jefferson. And I think even to a certain like lesser extent, I think more like in the red zone, I think Devonte Adams fits that role.
Yeah, just because
Um,
his release package.
his release package, and you can't double him because Puka.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that like you said, man, if they had a healthy K9 or like a pre-injury K9, it would change my tune. Or if they had a different running back. And I don't even dislike K9. I think he's a good running back, but when you're talking about the best running backs in football, he's not going to be mentioned. When you're talking about the best run games in football, they're not going to be mentioned.
Yep.
They have two head coaches on their roster right now with McDonald and Kubiak. Kubiak is a phenomenal play creator, play designer, downfield. Route concepts, beautiful. Art, poetic route concepts. The run game, once again, I just don't know if they have the guys on the offensive line to have the run game that they try to run. I mean, you're starting Anthony Bradford, and you're starting a center. I'm blanking on his name, and I'm not at fault for blanking on his name because it's a bunch of fucking letters just combined into two names, and I don't I don't remember what his name is. But and Zabel's awesome, but he's a rookie, so I just don't think they can run the type of run game that they would like ideally. Like that's kind of why I
Mhm.
thought if Joe Tooney came available, they should have pulled the trigger. I think it would have made a bunch of sense, and then I would have still even double dipped with Gray Zabel.
Yeah.
But once again, like they're kind of like Chicago. Could I see them just outscoring a team? Yes, like I could, and I could see their defense causing havoc and getting a fumble return for 6 and a blocked field goal and an interception, and the offense looks good, and I could see all these things happening. But once again, they're led by Sam Darnold.
Mhm.
So, like at the end of the day,
Yep.
that's your quarterback.
It
So,
happened. It happened last year with the Vikings. Offense looked awesome, but they had Sam Darnold,
hmm
and they had a very
very
kind of average
similarly
run
built
game.
offense. Very
Yeah,
similarly built offense.
very average-ish run game with Sam Darnold, and then when
hmm
you couldn't just turn around and hand the ball off because your run game's not that special,
hmm
Sam Darnold faced a bunch of pressure and he couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and he's not someone who's prone to one turnover. This dude, if he turns the ball over, he's turning it over 5 or 6 or 7 more times. I'm exaggerating, but
Yeah.
they come in bunches with him. He's not somebody that's going to fumble once, especially in the playoffs. He's not somebody that's going to fumble once and then have a perfect game the rest of the way. That's going to eat at him. That's all we've seen throughout his entire career. You get one turnover on him, you get a little bit of pressure on him. I think he's going to fold. That's why I have him in pretender. It's kind of
Yep.
what I'm falling back on.
Yeah, I agree with you,
All right.
100%.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect transition into our contenders. Do we want to start like worst to first with the
That's
contenders?
fine with me.
All
Starting.
right.
Yeah.
I want to start with Denver because Denver has the best unit in all of football. I think by far their defense and
Yeah.
specifically their front seven. I think they have the best unit in all of football. I I straight up think in my notes I put if you score 17 in every game, I think you can win every single game in the AFC. Depending on who you face. This defense is in it's gonna sound like you think they're good in the regular season. Watch what they do when they get into the playoffs. And they have
Oh,
just that much more time to scheme, that much more time to game plan. They have all these different looks that they haven't shown in the regular season. The defense is just, it's on a string, man. They're blitzing here, they're filling here. And it's seamless. It's perfect. Everybody can win one-on-ones on literally every level of the field. Their worst defender is like probably Riley Moss, who
hmm.
is like a legitimate good starter.
Yeah, Riley Moss outside of the penalties, which a lot of those penalties look pretty ticky tack,
Yeah.
and outside of those, he's an awesome corner,
Yeah,
especially
and,
in the
and they're
middle
getting
too.
better play out of Jade Barron. You obviously know what you're getting out of PS2. I assume he's going to be healthy for the playoffs.
Mm.
Dude, it's just so good. It's one of the best units any team has had in years. Just straight
Yeah,
up. Everybody on the front seven can win their one-on-ones. Every
yeah,
single person. The
they don't
corners
fuss.
the corners will lock you up in man coverage. The safeties bracket better than like Talanoa Hufanga. Awesome player. More of a run defender than he is a coverage guy, but can still cover downfield.
Mm.
Just a at every single level, man, that defense is just so good. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. There's no weakness on that defense whatsoever.
None, dude. None at all.
They should, if Bo Nix is even plays average football, they should walk in there and they
Mhm.
should just beat everybody.
What I saw against the Commanders from Bo Nix, and like he had some Bo Nix plays, don't get me wrong, but he also had some stuff out of structure where I was like, I don't like, is that in his bag? Can he just do that now? Because he's done some like out of the pocket scramble drill throw. He's had some of those this year.
Yeah,
And like
he.
all it takes is like one of those to Cortland Sutton or one or two of those to Mims or whoever, Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram looks so explosive. One of those plays or two or three per quarter, they'll win. They'll win against whoever they play.
Mhm.
And they're a
Yeah,
team that like you mentioned earlier, they find ways to win, man. Like
Mhm.
they're in a lot of one score game. Like you want to talk about the Giants game that they won this year. I know the Giants aren't great, but to have that kind of comeback in the fourth quarter against literally anybody is impressive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, they should really have one loss right now. Their one loss to Indianapolis. I mean,
That was such a the
that,
the field goal, just kidding, we're kicking it again.
yeah, the 15-yard penalty. I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, I guess by rule it was a penalty, kind of.
Yeah, I mean like correct call, but like it's I'm not taking
Don't call
away
it.
from that. Like I'm not looking at that loss and I'm like, holy shit, this team sucks. It's like you
No.
lost. Oh, you lost on a field goal to a really good team. At least at the time,
Yeah.
to a really good team. So
Mhm. Yeah, Broncos are kind of hard to nitpick here. It's like Bo Nix doesn't even have to do much. He just
mhm.
has to not suck.
Yeah,
And if he
no,
doesn't
seriously,
suck, then they should win every game
yeah.
pretty comfortably.
If he's like the 14th best quarterback in football for like the entirety of the playoffs, they'll win the Super Bowl. They will win
Hmm?
the Super Bowl.
They should, yeah.
Yeah, they're just. I mean, they're a team where if they, and this is diving into hypotheticals, but like if they pulled off the Waddle trade, I think they'd be one of the best teams we've seen in years. Like
Yeah,
seriously, they'd
yeah,
have
for
no.
sure.
Their weakness would be Bo Nix, who isn't a bad quarterback per se. He's bad at like he's bad at a lot of things, but he's also really good at a lot of things. He's
Yeah.
smart. He never fucks up the protection plan. Never. Never does it. He takes some bad sacks, but it's never because he fucks up the protection plan, which is I've watched so much playoff football being a Chiefs fan. That is so important in the
Hmm?
playoffs, man. Like every third down matters. You
Yeah.
send a running back on a flat route when they're blitzing six, it's over, dude.
Hmm?
And to get that shit right consistently over and over and over again is important. They're an odd offense as it stands, but I think if you're getting an explosive Evan Ingram, I think if you're winning on special teams with Lutz and with Mims returning punts and kicks, I think if you're getting consistent one-on-one wins with Cortland Sutton, I think they can beat anybody. I think they can win the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, they can beat anybody. My biggest thing with them, surprisingly, isn't Bo Nix. I think it's can they run the ball
Run game,
on
yeah.
first downs?
Hmm.
Like yeah, if it like a second down and 4, you can get a Harvey on the edge and he can break one or something like that. Or
I
same
just
thing
don't.
with Bidet and Jaleel McLaughlin. But like on 3rd and 2 or a 1st and 10, like can you run the ball between the guards? Can you run it between the tackles? And I don't think they can.
I
Because I
just
don't.
don't think any of them are very good. Like
Their offensive
straight
line
up.
is awesome. Their offensive
Oh
line is
yeah,
awesome.
sick. One of the best units in the league.
And problem Harvey just isn't good between the tackles yet. I don't know if he'll ever be good between the tackles.
Yeah.
To me, he's kind of just a gadget, a running back.
Vision is one of
And-
those things where it's like if you don't have it coming out of like pre-draft, it's really hard to develop. And it's not impossible. Like I think of Josh Jacobs coming out of Alabama was a guy who won off, and I'm a much better analyst now than I was back then. But to me, it looked like he won based off of him being twitchier, quicker, stronger, more explosive, rather than truly dissecting a coverage, dissecting the gaps, reading which way the defense is flowing. no running back on the Broncos roster that's healthy does that. I mean,
Yeah.
JK does that, but he's not healthy, and he's not going to be healthy. And even if he is coming back for the Super Bowl, you're not playing him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So,
no, and they're even like, cause there's guys that like you want like run of the mill like LeGarrette Blunts, Latavius Murray's,
shout out LeGarrette Blunt.
yeah, like
What a pull.
Latavius Murray's, just guys like that. That are they're not good players. They weren't like
Mhm.
at the time like when LeGarrette Blunt was in Tampa Bay, horrible football player, horrible
Mhm.
running back, just inefficient garbage. Same with Latavius Murray towards the end of his career, but it was like you kind of need a guy like that in the playoffs. Like, and if you have a J.K. Dobbins, that's obviously preferred to one of those
Mhm.
guys. But you need a guy that like just give him, especially with their offensive line, just give him the ball, give him like 2 to 3 yards of space, have him hit somebody and fall forward, and
Mhm.
then that's those runs are like 3, 4, 5 yards every time. Harvey, the vision sucks just like those guys, but when he hits somebody 2 to 3, 4 yards downfield, he gets driven back or he just lands flat on his ass. He can't fall forward, and I like those like no one thinks about it because it's not important in the regular season. But when you're like missing out, when you have to punt on 4th and 1 because your running back couldn't fall forward for an extra yard or two on a 2nd and 5 run because he's 112 pounds soaking wet, like that's important. That's super important. That kills drives.
Yeah.
And they don't have anyone that can do it because they have 3 scat backs.
Dude, I was thinking about this like when I was writing my notes. Like, who would be the worst running back that you would take to start? And I think I came up with an answer. I think Ramondre Stevenson is my answer. Like, worst running back that you would take to start on this roster, like going into
Oh,
with no JK, obviously, like going into the playoffs.
yeah.
I kind of thought like, would this team? Because I don't. Ramondre Stevenson is not a good running back, but
No, he's
he's
bad.
better than anyone they currently have. And what would they look like with just a guy like that? You know, like the 40th best running back in football, like something like that. You
No,
know, like
it'd be something they don't have, and it's
yeah,
not even like you need to give him more touches than Harvey because I think you need to get Harvey involved in the screen game
hmm
because I think Harvey's a lot like DeAndre Swift. You just got to get him in space because he
yeah,
can make guys miss. He's fast. He's twitchy. He's super athletic. Get
hmm
him in space.
he can break tackles in space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just don't. If you can, well, they can't avoid it obviously right now. But if they could avoid it, like if they had Ramondre Stevenson, give Ramondre those 8 carry, like a Kareem Hunt does it for the Chiefs, has done it for the
hmm
Chiefs for the last 2 years. Give
legend.
him the duos, the halfback dives, the traps
hmm
for 3 yards, 2 to 3 to 4 yards, and let him beat up on the linebackers and on the D linemen and wear them out. Because if I'm a linebacker, I'm coming up in my gap and I'm filling a gap and I'm running into RJ Harvey. It's like tackling my toddler before bed. Like it doesn't do anything to me.
Dude,
You have J.K. Dobbins, obviously he's hurt, but like or Ramondre Stevenson, like you were saying, he's 200 pounds. I feel that after a couple times.
yeah,
I'm hitting. I'm gonna feel that. Just
dude,
with Harvey, there's no one on that roster right now that's going to punish a defense in the run game.
telling you, dude, playing in Denver in January with a guy like Ramondre Stevenson, dude, it is going to hurt.
You're not going to want to
It is
do
going to
it.
be the fourth quarter, and you're not going to want to tackle him.
Yeah, yeah. And we're talking about Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, like,
This is
dude,
how low and disgusting the bar is. And they
yeah.
just don't have anybody because that is the one flaw. The GM needs to be held accountable for that.
hmm
Having Harvey and Dobbins were perfect, like 1-2s. Like if those two are healthy, that is perfect.
Yeah.
Problem is, your next 2 running backs in line are RJ Harvey clones. Like, get a fat ass in there.
Yeah.
Get a dude
They
that can just fall forward.
they have I'm completely blanking on his name, but they had a fullback who I watched in the Monday night game or not Monday night, Sunday night game. He is I wouldn't mind giving him the ball on 4th and 1s and 4th and 2s. I kind of like the way they utilize their fullback. Feels very like early 2010s, very Sean Payton like, really.
Yeah.
Kind of what it looked like to me. They do need another running back, and this falls on the general manager. You can't bank on J.K. Dobbins staying healthy. You can't.
Yeah, not to be your. It'd be one thing
Not
if
to
you
be
were
the
grabbing
one, man. Not
J.K.
to be the
Dobbins to
one.
be the 1B or the 2 and
Yeah.
have him getting your 10 carries a game or whatever, and if he gets hurt, then you just kind of find some run-of-the-mill free agent that you just pick up off the street,
Mm-hmm.
like what the Chiefs did with Kareem Hunt last year. Like, you do something like that, but if you're bringing this guy in to be your 1, you have to have some kind of plan for when he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because even last year when he stayed healthy for a good portion of the year, it was like you could see every week like his knees were dying. He
Yeah.
was like in the first like 7 or 8 weeks of last year on the Chargers, he was averaging like I think like damn near
Dude, he
five
was,
yards a
yeah, he
carry,
was
and everyone was
awesome.
like, "Oh my, is this guy gonna be like in the top 5, top 10 for offensive player of the year?"
Mm-hmm.
And then every week it just went from 5 yards a carry. Now he's down to like 4.2, and then
Mm-hmm.
this week he's down to like 3 and it just keeps going. He ended up for the last half of the season from like week 9 on. I think his average yards per carry was under 3.
Yeah.
It was like you can't
Yeah.
tell me you watch that and then you decide to have your running back room consist of him and then R.J. Harvey and then Tyler Bidet and Jaleel McLaughlin.
And here's the thing. I can't quite remember. Was RJ Harvey picked before or after Travion Henderson? Do you remember off
After.
the top of your head?
He was after.
He was
Yeah,
after. Okay, okay, okay. That makes
Henderson
more
was
sense.
pick 35, and I believe Harvey was picked like 52 or 53.
Because I would have went Quinshawn over, and I know he was picked
Hmm.
super early in the second round. But I would have went
Yeah.
Quinshawn. I would have went Travion. Kind of blanking on the rest of my running backs that I had ranked, but like I did not have RJ Harvey that high.
No,
From where they
that was
took
a
him.
really that was an interesting pick, but
And I liked I really did like the 1-2, but I also understood like you're going into this season banking on J.K. Dobbins staying healthy. Good luck. It's just not going to
yeah,
work.
because now
Like
you don't
you
have
have
Lamar.
enough, you have enough track record, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing we can nitpick on him. I think they're doing all right.
Great team, great team. Do you want to move on to Buffalo? Talk about Buffalo real quick.
Yeah, that's
Kind
for
of,
me.
kind of like the polar opposite of Denver. Like you have like a literal god at quarterback. Like is in the playoffs. I've watched this dude. He's a goddamn alien. He's as good as they come in the playoffs.
Hmm?
That's it. In this league, how it stands right now, like sometimes that is legitimately all you need is a Josh Allen, and they have a good secondary. We talked pre-pod about like Cole Bishop's having a good season. Maxwell Hairston is having a good season. You know what you're going to get out of Teron Johnson and Christian Benford, really good players. They don't have a front seven at all. Shout out Shaq Thompson, still doing it, but don't have a front seven. Um, Also shout out Joey Bosa. He's having a fine season. Don't have a front seven, but they have a Josh Allen. And like I said, like I don't know. I'd assume you agree with this. I'd assume most people agree with this. That's all you need. That's Josh
Yeah,
fucking Allen, man. Like that is
yeah.
a literal robot cyborg.
I mean, he's going to be the best player in the playoffs. He's
Oh,
having a kind of
100%.
pedestrian. He's gonna having a pedestrian season this year. He's also
I,
like,
I'm just like not like I just don't care. Like I don't care. Like it'd be the same thing if like Mahomes last year he had his worst statistical season. I didn't give a shit going into the playoffs because I knew exactly what it was going to look like, and I feel the exact same way about Lamar and Allen for two different reasons. I definitely
mm,
believe in Josh Allen slightly more, but like it's I just know what he's going to bring me. Like, and if he's pedestrian in the playoffs, then we're probably having conversations about Sean McDermott and Joe Brady. Like, I don't think it's going to be because of Josh Allen.
yeah, and it's also he. I, as a Packers fan, understand what it's like to have very good quarterbacks throwing to very interesting, to say the least, receiving cores.
That's putting
Good
it fucking generously,
Lord,
dude.
good Lord, man, that
Dude,
wide
it's
receiving
so
core
bad.
is horrible.
It's so bad.
It is so bad, and they still have a second year, basically first round pick. He was a second round pick, but like
Hmm.
one of the first picks in the second
Yeah,
round,
is the
wide
first pick
receiver
in
in
the
his
second
second
round.
year,
Yeah.
and he can't get playing time. He's a healthy scratch
It,
twice.
it's weird because, like, they don't play him, but what I see on film is, like, better than what. Like, he does stuff on film. Like, at least not so much in between the 20s, but like in the red zone, he's a legitimately valuable threat. Like he
Yeah,
is.
he's good in the red zone.
That's
He adds.
the healthy scratches just don't make sense to me for that reason.
No, I don't think I'd healthy stretch him either because he's a prototype they don't have anywhere else
Yeah,
on the team. But he is such an awful separator, and
he's
his
one of the
hands.
worst in football.
Yeah, his hands aren't that good. He is big, good, doesn't play big.
Hmm.
He's a big target in the red zone, which is nice to have.
Yeah,
But my good, he's bad everywhere else. Problem is
yeah.
they don't have it. Like, who are their wide receivers out there? You got Khalil Shakir. He's fine.
Shakir, Tyrell Shavers, Keon Coleman.
Tyrell Shavers actually been all
He's
right
having a
this
good
year.
season. Curtis
Yeah,
Samuel, or do they still have Curtis Samuel?
hmm
They do.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
I don't know
It's
why.
like
For some reason, I thought they cut him, but they didn't.
I think it's got to be the worst wide receiving core in football, or at
Dude,
least wide receiving
it's
core that's
up
going to make the
there.
playoffs.
It's up there. Here's the thing: when Kincaid is healthy, it completely changes everything about their offense. Because when you have Kincaid and Knox on the field at the same time, right? You can run 12 personnel, and you have James Cook in the
Hmm.
backfield. There is like truly no way for a defense to know what you can run. If you're running play action, great. Kincaid's getting open. If you're running the ball, that's James Cook. He's just probably going to get 5 or 6 yards. That's
Every time.
what's going to happen. But if Kincaid isn't healthy, the offense frightens me a little bit. And
Yeah.
like the receiving
The
core is like, you can probably just play man coverage the entire
mhm.
game if you have the corners
The
to do it. Like
yeah.
I think Denver would be a horrific matchup for them.
Yeah, it's a bad
Would be
matchup
a
for
horrific matchup
Buffalo.
for them. And I know they played last year. It's not the same team. They're not the
No,
same
very
teams.
different. Very different. Speaking of Kincaid's injuries and stuff, I just would shout out Jackson Hawes.
Dude,
Dude is
shout out Jackson
awesome.
Hawes, man.
He is awesome.
He's a good player.
I have never enjoyed watching tight end blocking tape until
Dude,
I turned on Jackson
I'm
Hawes.
so glad you said that. He might be like I don't have a definitive list of blocking tight ends, but he is easily my favorite to watch. Like
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
he moves dudes all the
And he's
time.
not. Yeah, he's nuts. His film's awesome.
Yeah,
For people who don't have a life and would like to watch tight ends block, that's a guy you should go watch.
that's my shit right there, dude.
Don't watch anybody else. I don't want to hear nothing about George Kittle. I don't want to hear nothing about Josh Wiley. I don't want to hear anything about
Darnell Washington.
uh,
Actually, Darnell Washington's fun to watch.
Darnell.
Watch
He
him.
doesn't count. He's
Yeah,
800
that's
pounds.
a tackle. That's
He's a left tackle.
yeah.
I don't want to hear anything about that either. Go watch Jackson Hawes.
He's
But yeah,
so fun. And he's like actually a receiving threat. He's not like
hmm?
unusable in that
Yeah, he's
aspect.
athletic. He's
Yeah.
athletic.
Like I've seen him come down with 50-50 balls. Like he would legitimately be the tight end one on like a lot of teams.
Yeah,
Like
he's a good
seriously.
player.
He's a
He
good
would be
player.
the tight end one on the Packers right now. Swear to God, if I have to watch Luke
Shout out
Musgrave
Luke
one more week,
Musgrave.
if I have to watch Luke Musgrave one more week, man.
Shout out Josh. Is it what how do you say his last name? Is it Wiley?
Wiley.
Shout out
He's
Josh
actually a
Wiley.
good player. Josh Wiley's actually a good player. I shouldn't hate too much. He's a good blocker.
Shout out Josh Wiley. Shout out Luke Musgrave.
Oh, well.
Do you want to move on to the Rams? You want to talk about the Rams? I feel like we've kind of got everything out about the Bills, like Josh
I feel
Allen.
like Rams have to be our number one, probably favorite, right?
Or
Have
do
we
you want to
talked
do
about
you want to do Green Bay first, and then we could finish with the Rams?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay, let's do
I
that.
feel like we probably should have done Green Bay before Denver, but
That's
we're already
fine.
past that.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, you're the Green Bay guy, so you tell me. I put them in my question mark, and I told you pre-pod it's because of the losses to Carolina,
Mm.
to Cleveland. You tied with with the Cowboys pre-trade deadline. It it's a really talented team. It's so talented. I can see everything. I can see the vision. I can see what works, why they do everything.
Mm.
But these losses, man, you gotta sell me here on this team.
Oh, I'm not even. The losses are rough, and watching them as a fan, it is the most infuriating thing. You're beating the Browns.
Hmm.
You're beating the Browns by 2 scores with under 4 minutes left, and you lose the game.
Hmm.
You're playing the Panthers, and Bryce Young has under 100 passing yards with like 3 minutes left in the game, and you lose the game. You're playing against the Cowboys. You're up 13-0,
Hmm.
and they couldn't do anything offensively, and they couldn't stop you on offense, and
What
you tie.
was I can't. Was CD Lamb active for that Packers game? Had
I
he
believe
gotten
so.
had he gotten hurt yet? No. Okay.
Or wait, no, I think he was hurt. I think he was
I
hurt.
can't remember when
Yeah,
that started.
that was the George Pickens breakout game. That was the George Pickens dropped like 12,000.
Shout out George Pickens. I feel like we probably could have talked about the Cowboys a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe we could talk about them. 'Cause I
yeah,
think
we
they're
could
going to win
sprinkle.
more games, so I think we could
Yeah,
talk about them later.
we could sprinkle them in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Packers they just have the most inexcusable losses in football right now.
Yep.
The reason I think that they're a contender is because the league this year is so wide open that a team this talented and he's polarizing, but he shouldn't be. Like there's fans that think he's not good, and it's just the most confusing thing ever. Jordan
Talking
Love's
about Jordan
good.
Love. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Love's good. He's
If
awesome.
you're
He's
if you're a film addict, you would think Jordan Love is the best quarterback to ever touch the earth.
yeah, he's just awesome. I mean, he is going to make plays that or like make decisions that make you want to like throw something through your TV, especially as a fan. Like those two throws against Carolina, I I'm not gonna say I haven't seen anything like it because I've seen him do the same damn thing before.
Yeah.
Cause it's like once every like 2 or 3 weeks he will make the most despicable throw ever,
Yeah.
and it's the problem is because he can make stupid throws and
Mhm.
it gets him overconfident and then he makes decisions like that. But fans act like that happens all the time.
Mhm.
It's not.
Yeah.
It was common like in
People
2023.
Yeah, it's just because he did it for like an entire season when he
Yeah, he
first
did it
started.
for.
When he first started, but if you've like I've tracked the Packers as kind of like a secondary team of mine since I met you since like whatever that was, and I've
Mhm.
literally watched him like, all right, he's really really bad at these things. Next year happens. Okay, he's gotten better at these things, but now he's struggling with this. And now here we are in what would this be? Year 4 starting?
This is
Year
his third year starting.
year 3 starting. So
Mhm.
he is he's not put all together yet,
No.
but he is as talented as anyone. He has the best all 22 cut up of all time. It's so good. It's so good. Um, I think he's an awesome player, man. I can live with the mistakes and I can live with the CTE games because I know what he can bring against the best defenses in football. Doesn't matter how good your coverage is.
Yep, and he does it with. Although I do think the wide receiving core is better than a lot of people think, he's doing it with Dontavian Wicks and Christian Watson as his two most gifted wide receivers.
Yeah.
No shade to Christian Watson and Dontavian Wicks. They
Yeah.
would be wide receiver threes on almost every single playoff roster in the entire in the league right now. And Jordan Love just does things with, and it doesn't matter. He's like defense proof. It doesn't matter what you put on him. This year, like the pressure's gotten to him a little bit more because the offensive line's struggling. But
Mhm.
even then, he's not like making a bunch of turnover-worthy plays as he's thrown, I think, 3 picks
Yeah.
and fumbled. I lost one fumble or something.
Yeah.
It's like he's awesome. He's so good.
He's very Rodgers like, man. Like it's
Yeah,
cliche, but dude, that's what he plays like.
yeah, he's ballsy. He makes a lot of throws that make me like sit up straight when he throws it because that's like why are we
Dude.
doing like that touchdown to Wicks that touchdown to Wicks on 4th and 2.
That was
this past
insane.
week.
Incredible throw.
That's a ridiculous throw. Why the hell
On
are you
4th
throwing
and 2?
Yeah, 4th and 2. Why are you throwing it?
Yeah.
Why are you throwing that ball?
It's because
Nice
he's
throw.
Jordan
Why are you
Love,
throwing-
dude.
Yeah, and that's the reason I have him contender instead of like pretender.
Mhm. Yes.
He,
They're more
because with
contender
how open
than
it is
pretender.
right now. With how open it is right now, I mean, when all said and done, of the teams that are in the playoffs currently, so no Chiefs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
How many quarterbacks would I rather have than Jordan Love right now? You have Josh Allen
Josh.
because he's Josh Allen,
Josh
and then
Lamar.
maybe Drake May. But
Josh-
yeah, Lamar I think is playing banged up right now.
He is.
And-
He clearly looks banged up.
Yeah, so
They're gonna win that division, but like, this is not a Ravens team that's worth fearing.
No,
I think.
but healthy Lamar, obviously,
Mhm.
you put him there because Lamar's awesome. But I don't think he's healthy right now.
Yeah.
So I'd have him right there. It's him, then
Mays.
Josh Allen, and then you got Drake May, Matt Stafford, and Jordan Love.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in those three.
That's how
And
I would
outside
do
of
it.
that, there's no one really even close other than Lamar because
Hmm.
like Lamar's injury. But like
Yeah.
after that, there's nobody else within
There
a
there's a real world. I want this to be the I want this to happen. I want Kansas City to sneak in the playoffs because I want the championship games to be Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Jordan Love, Matt Stafford. I
That would
think
be
that
awesome.
would be the best, like, for just like quarterback play, what you're looking for. Like, that's it, man. These four guys, that's what it's supposed to look like
Hmm.
every single week, and especially Matt Stafford. Although, the Panthers game aside, he's been literally perfect the entire season. And
Hmm.
that was a CTE game. I watched the whole thing. That was I don't know what he was doing for like half of his reads, but it's Matthew Stafford. I'm trusting it. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
And
it'll
that's
be
kind of
fine.
how I feel about Jordan Love. Like the losses are weird. Like they're really weird,
It
but
doesn't make sense.
like I kind of just don't. I don't know. I don't really expect that to creep up in the playoffs. I mean, maybe it does, but like I just
Matt
don't think so,
LaFleur,
man.
Matt LaFleur finally got his balls out of his pants. He finally decided to go for some fourth downs. He finally
Hmm.
stopped like just turning around and handing it off to Josh Jacobs on every single 1st and 10 and 3rd and short. He kind of
Hmm.
let Love play. And if he lets Love play, they're as good as any team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl this year because I think they're going to get outcoached in the NFC in one of the games. I think
Hmm.
the Rams. I think McVay will outcoach them in a game. I think Ben Johnson could even outcoach him in a game because I think Ben Johnson's
Hmm.
that good. So I
Yeah.
think they'll like fall short, but I definitely, if Matt Lafleur gets his head out of his ass, I think they're as good as anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And this is a good segue. I mean, we talked about Matt Stafford. We can transition to the Rams here.
Yep.
Best quarterback in football right now, playing the best, I mean.
No. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Best head coach. They have by points per game, they have the second best defense in football. I know that's not like the best metric in the world, but it's a very basic one. They're just really, I mean, they're the best team in football, and a Panthers loss aside, like, I just don't care. Like, I'm going to be real. I think the Panthers are a kind of a pesky team that can, if you turn the ball over 3 times, you're probably going to lose
Yeah.
to them. So I still think they're the best team in football. I think they have the MVP on their team still. I don't know what the odds look like right now. It
I
might
think Drake may
it
pass
might
them,
be it
especially
might be
after last night.
yeah, it might be Drake May now. I'm not mad at it. Don't really care. You have an MVP candidate. You have for what I think is the best head coach in football by a pretty substantial margin.
Mm.
And you have a defense that's not only like incredible right now, they are young and they are literally getting better game by game. And like
Yeah.
I know Jared Verse has kind of struggled this year. He's not what he was as a rookie. Call it a sophomore slump, call it whatever. It's still a damn good defensive line. They still have a very good pass rush plan. They're disciplined defensively. The secondary is getting better. Fucking Emmanuel Forbes for some reason exists again. Like
Yeah.
like wins consistently. Just it's a I mean it's the best team in football, man. Like they should win the Super Bowl. They should. I mean, I
They
don't know if they
should.
will, but they should.
They should. It kind of depends what happens with. I mean, Matt Stafford's got to stay healthy. I mean, we're not. I'm not going to pretend that his back's not an issue. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
he hasn't re-injured it this year, but he's also 37
Yeah.
with chronic back issues. So it's like one wrong hit and the season's
Hmm.
over.
Yeah.
Um, they are the best team in football. They're the most complete. I mean, they have the best wide receiver duo I've watched with my eyes, maybe ever.
I'd say that they complement each other better than any other wide receiver duo I've seen in years. Like,
Like me personally, if I was ranking my top 10 wide receivers, they have the guy who would be my personal number one with Puka Nakua. I
Puka,
think he's
yeah,
just awesome.
be
And
Puka
then
and
Devontae
Noir.
Adams is no worse than wide receiver like 8 right now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's the best red zone threat I think any wide receiver's ever been. Especially for
Best man coverage beater in football. Probably one of the best ever.
Yeah,
Like
he
straight up.
might be the best ever because
Yeah.
you can't run man on him
Mm-mm.
because Devontae Adams will beat you in man. It does not matter what corner you put at him.
Yeah.
I mean, other than maybe like Pat Surtain, but even
I,
he's rare.
I feel like even in the red zone, Devonte Adams has just seen
Probably
enough.
won't win.
Like, yeah, like he understands like leverage to a point where it's like he sees it in real time and can like adjust leverage. Even if he's perfectly covered, you're throwing a fade ball. If you give him a good ball, he's coming down with it.
Yeah, he's got ridiculous hands, ridiculous timing. He's just super smart. And he's insane. You can't run man, and you can't really run zone because Puka also one Devontae's smart enough to sit in the zone.
Hmm.
Puka also very smart, able to sit in the zone. And if you let Puka catch the ball and get 2 feet on the ground and turn around and he's not on the ground, well, goodbye.
Yeah,
He's
he's.
gonna score a fucking touchdown.
Hmm. Yeah, Puka is. It's so funny because Puka was not like a thought in my brain pre-draft. Like he was one of like the guys where I'm like, I'm gonna watch like 20 minutes of film on him, and I'm probably just gonna throw him a day 3 grade. I'm gonna be real. Him being what he is now completely, and I think it did the same for you. It completely changed the way I had to scout receivers because
Hmm?
what NFL teams value now is just what's the word I'm looking for? Just like a guy who can do everything but continues to get better at doing everything. He wasn't like a super crazy separator right away
Hmm?
as a rookie. Was more of like I'm gonna sit in a zone and I'm really good with yards after catch. Dude, he can beat you in man now. He can beat you down the field. He can beat you across the field. He can beat you over the middle. You can throw a screen to him. There is nothing you can do to stop Puka Nacua from getting his touches. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, no,
Like
because you
legitimately.
can't double him. You can't bracket him because as soon as you bracket him, there's Devontae
One on
Adams,
one,
and
Devontae Adams
then
on the outside. Yeah, good luck.
yeah, and then it's just Devontae Adams getting you 12 yards,
Hmm.
15 yards, 16 yards,
And
like every single play.
if you're bracketing both of them, you're taking 2 extra guys out of the box. They're just gonna run. They're just gonna
Yeah,
run the
and
ball.
their run game's nothing special. Like
Yeah,
Kyron is not good. I might get a lot. I might get some backlash for
yeah.
that.
I don't.
Kyron is not good. He is not a good runner. He's just really not. He's a very good pass blocker,
Mm-hmm.
which is why his receiving has dwindled in years gone by because he is a very good pass blocker. He's not a good runner. Blake Corum, I I probably shouldn't even have had to bring up the name on this podcast, but
Yeah,
yeah,
shout
Blake
out Blake
Corum.
Corum, man.
Yeah, their run game's not good, but it's good enough because their offensive line's good enough. If you're gonna bracket both of them, like here, Kyron, go get me 6 yards with 5 dudes in the box, and then just do that until they have to like put another guy in the box. It's like, okay, hey Devontae, go get me 15 yards on a corner route because that corner's gonna be 30 yards down the field, thinking you're still running with him.
Mm-hmm.
Or hey Nakua, catch this screen and run 50 yards through 8 guys. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing you can do to stop the offense as
Yeah,
long as Matt Stafford doesn't do what he did against the Panthers.
yeah, and that's like he just hadn't had a game like that all season. That's why I'm like, it's a one-off. It just
Yeah,
that is what
it's
it is. He threw a pick six to fucking Mike Jackson, dude. Mike Jackson. It's 2025. Mike Jackson got a pick six on Matthew Stafford. I'm just not worried about it, like at all.
no,
I think
I'm
they're gonna.
not.
I think if I had to put money on it, I'd put them to win the Super Bowl. I wouldn't feel great about it just based on how the season has gone, because I think right now, if you're not like a legitimate bottom feeder, like top 5 pick team, you can beat anybody in the NFL.
Yeah,
That's just kind of what it is right now. That's just kind of how the league has played out so far.
yeah. League right now is the most parity we've ever seen.
Hmm.
Um, at least in a very long
At
time.
least this far into the season.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There is legitimately like 7 or 8 teams that if they won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be able to say I'm surprised. I'd be
Yeah,
like, I mean,
like I mean, we shit on like. Would it absolutely shock me if the Patriots won a Super Bowl? No, it would not at all.
same with the Bears because if the Bears figured something out with their defense, Caleb Williams can their run game could win them 2 playoff games. If Caleb Williams can like lock in for 2 games, the Bears could win the Super Bowl. I don't think they will,
We will be
but
having if Ben Johnson gets a ring in year 1, we will be having dangerous conversations
oh, if
about.
the Bears win, if the Bears win a Super Bowl in Ben Johnson's first year as a head coach, I'm blowing my shit smooth off.
I think he's head coach
I'm
too.
not.
I mean,
I'm not sticking around. I'm not sticking around to listen to what that would sound like from Bears
Oh
fans.
my God, man. Shout out Jordan, man. Shout out the man. The Rams, they're just so good. They're just so good. They're so awesome. Matthew Stafford's sick. Puka's sick. Devontae Adams is awesome. I always has been. I guess my gripe would be like I'm not in love with Kyron Williams, and I think Blake Corum is just awful at like everything he does ever. Um, and they don't like. Could they have a game where Devonte Adams isn't producing like crazy, and Puka gets his, but it's not like game breaking, and the team can shut down the run and they lose? That's the blueprint. Yeah, I think the odds of that happening are lower than any other scenario of any other team getting beat, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Mm. I think the blueprint. I think what the Panthers showed everyone that you're going to have to try to do. You're going to have to try to win in a shootout.
Mhm.
And there's just not many offenses that can go toe to toe with the Rams offense and try and win a shootout.
Except for
Because yeah, the Rams
Bryce
defense is
Young
very
and
good.
Xavier Leggett.
Yeah,
Shout
the
out.
the Rams defense is very good, but with all due respect, a good offensive mind, if they get enough time in the pocket, with like they can pick on Emmanuel Forbes. Like you can still do that. He's
Yeah.
playing really good football right now.
He's playing
It's
better
Emmanuel.
than the worst cornerback that was ever drafted.
Yeah,
So,
he you can still pick on him.
yeah.
And their secondary is not that good, like talent wise. They're
Yeah.
incredibly well coached, but they're not all that talented.
They're still missing a
Way to-
cornerback one, like
Yeah.
100%. Like they
You,
they
the way
need
to-
they need to draft a Mansour Delane or someone in the
Yeah.
first round of the draft.
They need a corner. The way to beat them is you hope. I think you have to try to make their run game beat you. I think if you have a good enough D line that you can get push up front and they can't just run for 5 yards and light boxes every single time. I think you have to try to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think you have to just drop back and throw the shit out of the ball. Because I mean you can't. You're
Yeah.
not going to run it. You're not going to run the ball on that front seven. You're just not. You just have
No.
to drop back, throw the piss out of it, and hope you have a good enough quarterback and wide receiving core to be able to keep up with them.
There's so many. I can't wait till mock draft season because there's so many fun things you can do with the Rams. Like, if you didn't want to go quarterback, you could go Arvell Reese with their first pick and then Mansour Delane with their second. And it's like, okay, well now they have Matthew Stafford and the best defense in football again, and it's still young. And there's so many different scenarios you can do with them, and
Mm-hmm.
they're terrifying. Like they're a buzzsaw. I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs.
Oh hell
It's
no!
they're the Super Bowl favorite for a reason, man. And I see the same thing that Vegas sees. So
They should just they should win it.
yeah,
I see no reason they don't.
me too, me too. Well, hey man, if you don't got anything else, I think this is a good spot to wrap up. I mean, we're an hour and 18 into this.
That works for me.
Talked a lot about a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
It feels weird to do an episode like this and not talk about the Chiefs. In
Yeah.
either category, like they're just
Yeah.
not even involved at all.
No Chiefs, no Ravens.
Like
Did we even mention the Eagles?
I don't think we did.
Oof.
That's a tough one. We can give them like a 2-minute segment real quick. They need to play better. They need to play better. I don't like you can't run the ball as inefficiently as you do with this offensive line and Saquon Barkley. Like Patullo, figure it the fuck out. Figure it out, dude. Like
Tulo's awful.
you
Tulo
have
needs to
you
go.
have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, that offensive line, Jalen Hurts, dude. You have the most 3-and-outs in the NFL. You're going to break the record for 3-and-outs in an NFL season. Do I need to say the names again? You have Saquon fucking Barkley. Like, holy shit.
Patullo's awful. Sirianni should be fired. Saquon Barkley is no longer good.
Like, holy fuck,
He's
man.
not-
Why
he's
is
not-
it so hard for them? Like,
He's not good. Saquon's not good anymore.
no, he's not. But, like, it needs to be better than this.
Yeah. 100%. I'm not defending Patullo. He's got to go. And
He's awful.
Sirianni's got to go. He's awful. He is awful. The Lane Johnson getting hurt kind of derailed their offensive line.
Yeah,
so their offensive
yeah.
line's not the Avengers
And
anymore. It's
and
just-
Dickerson, for sure, too. Like,
yeah, they still have a fine offensive line. I just keep seeing Saquon Barkley they'll have an outside zone scheme, and he will have a lane to cut up, and it's huge, and it's glorious,
Dude,
and it's like, get your fat ass right there,
yeah.
right. It's this wide. It is this. It's just run through it, and he doesn't. He will keep bouncing it like it's 2019, and he's
Hmm.
in New York, and he's the fastest person alive, and he goes nowhere. And then when it's second and long, Jalen Hurts sucks, and
You
the
didn't even have
passing
to. You didn't even have
scheme.
to put the second and long part. You could have just been like, Jalen Hurts
Jalen Hurts
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah, I'd have been like, yeah,
And
facts.
their passing scheme sucks. So it's second and long, and
Oh,
it's
it's
like,
legitimately the worst in the NFL. It's the worst
yeah,
by
the,
far.
the route concept's awful.
I've watched I watched Chip Kelly draw up better route concepts when he
it
had a
actually
job.
it's so hard to watch. It is so hard to watch. They and then
They need to just fire Sirianni, go get Kubiak, stop dicking around with CEO head coaches. Stop doing that.
yeah,
I know you won the
everyone
Super Bowl
can
last
talk.
year. I don't care. You faced a
Everyone
Chiefs
can
team that
talk.
wasn't real. Like, figure it out, man.
Yeah,
Holy
the
shit,
whole
that made me
series.
mad. Literally, just that
Yeah,
3 minute segment just pissed me
the
off.
the Eagles piss me off.
God, what a frustrating team.
Speaking of CEO coaches, every team, just last kind of like PSA thing. Every team needs to stop. Every team needs to get rid of the ones they got, and
That's
everyone
dumb.
needs to stop
Yes,
doing it.
it's
It is
dumb.
dumb.
It's
And
stupid as fuck.
I'm gonna say this. I say this all the time. Um, and Lions fans are not going to enjoy it.
Yes, I love
Dan
where this is going.
Campbell has to go.
Kill Dan Campbell is what Jayden is saying. Murder
He's
him.
not he's not a good coach. He's
No,
not
he
a
isn't.
good
And
coach.
I
He
there
you oh my god, you can have like a CEO head coach, like a motivator of men is what
Mhm,
I hear people calling Dan Campbell.
mhm.
You know who else can motivate men in a locker room? Other players. You
Someone
know who else can
someone
do
who's
it?
good at their
Like
job.
special teams coordinator. You know who else who can fucking do it? The water boy. You could have a motivator of men on any part of your staff or team at all. Why would you put it as your head coach?
It
Why?
just doesn't work, man. Like and look, I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year with Nick Sirianni. I don't fucking care. They won it in spite of Nick Sirianni.
Oh
Eagles fans
yeah,
will tell you that. Like
he's horrible.
it's
And
let's stop dicking around. Cancel CEO head coaches. Kill
just
them in the street. Tar and
get
feather them.
get
Get them
an
out of here.
offensive minded head coach. Don't even matter.
Yeah.
I mean, defensive head coach is better than CEO, but don't like if you're underperforming, get an offensive head coach. Because if you get a good defensive head coach, congratulations. Now you have a new offensive coordinator every year.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
mean, for real, man. Like I kind of like what the Bucks do, where it's like Todd Bowles is the head coach and kind of the pseudo defensive coordinator, and they alternate offensive coordinators. And like you're not going to have a new one every single year, but you'll have a new one every other year. I think that's a better strategy than being like, all right, Nick Sirianni, you don't do anything. You bring no insight offensively or defensively, but you do clip farm on Twitter a lot. So, does that balance out? I don't know. But
that's the thing with Dan Campbell that drives me nuts. Because if you're going to be a CEO coach, I would like you to not be a moron. And he's a moron.
dude,
He
watch this fourth and seven fucking roll out to the fourth string tight end that's double covered. We're doing it.
the decision making is awful. It's like, man, if you're not going to call the plays on offense or call the defense, for the love of everything, don't be dumb.
Yeah.
Like kick field goals if you have to. Don't go for 4th and 8 every single time. Don't like it's so. I mean, I'm watching games against the Packers, and Packers were probably going to win anyway this past week, but he's just pissing the game away. He had 2 field goals and opted to go for, I believe, like a 4th and 4 on one of them, and then a 4th and 3 on another one.
Hmm.
And you can say whatever you want. Oh, JMO dropped the pass. JMO dropped, or in the playoff game in the NFC Championship where they blew it against the
Hmm.
49ers because they decided to go for a 4th down instead of kick a field goal to
Yeah.
extend the lead to, I think, a 3 possession game at that point.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Josh Reynolds dropped a pass on 4th down.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can say, yeah, they dropped a pass. Drop passes are part of the game,
Yeah.
and they happen. They're professionals, and they should not happen.
Hmm.
But you have to take into consideration, like, oh, they might drop the ball here.
Mhm.
Why don't we just take our 3 points? I'm not saying never go for it. If
Yeah,
you have
like
4th and 1 or 4th and 2 and you're in a long field goal situation,
just
yeah, go for it, man.
if you're in no man's land, like I don't mind going for a 4th and 5 if you're at like the 48-yard line and your
Yeah,
defense has been playing well. I don't care. But when it's like a game like the Green Bay game we just watched, 4th and 6, field goal. What are we doing?
it's a chip shot
What are we
too.
doing?
It's like a 40-yard field goal with a damn good kicker,
What do
but
you
just
even
take the
gain out of
3 points.
this?
No, because if you pick up the first down, congratulations. You still have to go 25 yards to score a touchdown,
Right.
and then let you kick the field goal, go down by. I think at that point it would have been like 4. Go down by 4.
I think it would have been 4.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like cross this bridge when you get there next time. And
Dude,
if you have to go for 4th down next time, then you go for 4th down, and then you're going for a win.
this is
But
this is a phenomenal way to end the pod.
it,
Evan,
it just
if you're
I
watching
hate
this, just want to let you know I hate you, and so does Jayden, and
I
nobody
hate
loves you.
I hate CEO head coaches, man.
No, I just get rid of the CEO head coaches. That's it.
That's
That's my final remarks on this pod.
we'll leave it at
Get them
there.
out of
End
here.
it there.
Get them out of here. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun making this pod, talking
Oh yeah,
ball
I
with you
agree.
guys. I mean, it's great. My laptop is so close to dying, but it's all right, man. We're thugging. So, hope you guys enjoyed, man. We're gonna be here every. What did we agree on? Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wednesdays and
These are
Fridays.
getting uploaded. Awesome. So be ready, man. Wednesdays and Fridays, these episodes are coming out. We're gonna be talking about NBA soon. We're gonna be talking about draft soon. 'Tis the season, you know. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving weekend. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season. Um, that's all I got, unless you got anything.
I'm good here.
All right, man. I'll catch you guys later.